I'm Alex.
And I'm Teddy.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are
The Button Mappers.
Hey, the Button Mappers.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Teddy. And I talked about Ninja Gaiden earlier, so I kind of...
We can just cut that out.
Nah, it's no big deal. I can do another game. I appreciate your willingness to edit it for me, but no, don't bother that.
Oh, no, I know.
Don't go through editing.
Spencer's doing the editing. I want to give him more work.
No, don't edit it out. So, I'll do another game. This isn't an Xbox exclusive. Is that okay? Does it have to be an exclusive?
As long as it's been on Xbox.
Okay. This is one that Terry will like. It's Castlevania Curse of Darkness. I know Terry309 really likes this game.
People love it.
It's a follow-up to the one Lament of Innocence on PS2. It has a similar feel. The combat is basically rooms that enemies come in and you beat, which kind of got tiring on Lament. They throw in enough here where the scenery is more varied than just gray hallways. There's outside areas. There's mountain areas. There's inside the castle, outside the castle. You get a familiar, which is like a little demon that you can raise like Pokemon. So this is probably the closest I played to Pokemon other than Dragon Quest V, where you have little creatures, demons that come up with you. Because you may like this, Terry, because it has like Shin Megami Tensei, like you can capture demons. You have like little demon familiars that fly around with you, and they can attack. You can level them up. You have all kinds of weapons you can use, spears, swords, and you can switch pretty easily. The combat system's not as complex as Ninja Gaiden, but that's a good thing because you can pretty much get a few combos in your head depending on what time you hit the button. Will do different. So if you hit Y before X, it'll do a different move. X before Y, and you can kind of get one or two that work for you. The music is outstanding. I love all Castlevania music, but this is secretly one of the best soundtracks on the Castlevania soundtracks. It's amazing. It looks very good. Sounds great. It's just fun to play. If you like beat 'em ups, Bayonetta, and you like Castlevania, and just give this one a shot. If you're looking for a traditional Castlevania, it's probably not going to be your cup of tea. But if you liked Lament of Innocence and you want more of that, this is like it. But in my opinion, it's a little bit better and more fleshed out. It was Igarashi's second attempt at this, I think, and I think he pretty much got it as well as he could with that era of technology. And there is like some exploration to it, but not a lot. But it's good. I highly recommend it. It's on PS2 as well, but since this is Xbox month, you can pick it up. Has you guys ever play Curse of Darkness?
Yeah,
Terry
I have
has
both that one. Sure,
okay,
I have both that one and the other one, Lament.
Lament.
On PS2. I found with those 3D like that era of Castlevania, I felt like they almost got it. I felt like they were they were close.
Yeah, definitely. They got it close on this one. I mean, it's not perfect for sure, but it's yeah, I agree. It's kind of close to how you want Castlevania in 3D to be. Not quite, but it's fun enough to play through. I found.
I had issues with some of like the 3D exploration in those that era because I felt like they were basically just trying to translate Symphony of the Night over into a 3D action game, but with that openness, you kind of like they lost some of their identity, I think, because like there's other 3D games at that time that do that super well, like Metroid Prime, where the worlds feel distinct and the map feels like alive, and then there's like that era of 3D Castlevania to me felt like rooms, like boxes.
Well, Lament especially did. Yeah, not as much in Curse, but Lament was even worse in that area because it was just the castle, just rooms. This at least has some outside areas, a village, and some other areas you can go in. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I completely. Teddy, you played it a little bit too.
Yeah, and I don't want to call it distaste for it, but one of the reasons I picked it up for a little bit and then I stopped it. I'll definitely attribute some of that to the hardware. I'm not a big PS2 guy. I find a lot of it looks grainy and it's just tough to go back to. I have since got an upscaler, but I sold it because I needed some money. And Curse of Darkness commanded a decent bit. My issue with Curse of Darkness is similar in that you know, there's a lot of space between save rooms, and I don't necessarily know if I like that kind of like. Well, see, I think Metroid does Metroid well. I think it handles exploration pretty well, and you know, I always have the map in front of me, and I can always kind of look at it that way. I think I don't know if I prefer the exploration in 2D versus 3D Metroid, but I think they're both serviceable. In Castlevania, I don't know that I necessarily like Castlevania for that. My favorite Castlevania is Bloodlines, which is very much more of like an arcade kind of level-based Castlevania title, where I'm not worried about that. I just kind of like the adventure of that. And then with Curse of Darkness, I just get overwhelmed by all of that. I have played similar kind of, not like hack and slash with familiars, but SMT has a genre or a game like that on the PS2. Raito Kuzunoa versus King Abaddon. There were two of them. They're called Devil Summoner, SMT Devil Summoner. And
I've heard of this. Yeah, there was one on 3DS, I think. Wasn't there?
There is, but that's not, that's Soul Hackers, and that's like kind of a different
oh, okay, that's sorry.
No, it's okay. They have the same title, so it's confusing. Don't have to be sorry, Brian. Just messing with
you. Sorry. Oh,
apologize, Brian.
So anyway, about your, but it's not really a Metroidvania type game, though. I didn't find it too Metroid-y.
In terms of
if you're expecting that
and stuff, but I think it's still in terms of the map and exploring and figuring out where to go. I was just getting lost. So
that's understandable.
No, I think to me, I don't like that about Castlevania.
Okay, yeah. I mean, my favorites. Go
ahead, you go.
Which one? Lords of Shadow? I enjoyed that game. Mirror of Fate. Yeah, that was fun.
That one didn't feel too overwhelming in terms of adventuring, you know?
Yeah, it was a pretty bite-sized. Mercury's Theme. Yeah, they did that one. Yeah.
They should make a Metroid game.
Maybe someday.
Brian, you said that you think they did the best they could with the hardware that they had. So let's hypothetically, Konami decides they're going to make games again. Like real games.
I have Pachinko.
Yeah, that's real games. Alex.
Metal Gear Survive.
There's a Castlevania arcade game.
It's real games, Brian.
You want to jab zombies with a stick and Metal Gear Survive?
Yeah.
Sorry.
They want to do something like that. What would they need to improve on to make this game work in 2022?
I think Metroidvanias are really big now. I think just do a 3D... Just keep it simple. Do a 3D version like Metroid Prime or something, but with just 3D Castlevania. Maybe go more so in that direction. I think that would sell pretty well. Just take Symphony of the Night and put it into 3D. I don't know if they'd want to do that, but I think more so that on the Xbox you were limited to that. You couldn't really do that on the hardware too much. I think the Xbox is like, I mean, it was like a Pentium 3 and something, so it was kind of hard for them to... I guess you could, yeah.
I argue with that because there are some great looking games for that generation. Like the first Metroid Prime, or even on the original Xbox, take Half-Life 2. Those games have areas that I remember very distinctly. Like you can each map and Metroid Prime has rooms that I can tell you like which room this is in and which area this is in. Those two 3D Castlevania games, I couldn't tell you a damn area in those games.
I take it back. That's because Metroid Prime. This is 2005. Prime came out in 2003, 2002, something like that. But yeah, they could have did better. Like Metroid Prime's very. Yeah, I take it back. They could have did better, but
no take backs, Brian.
No take backs.
No. Alex reminded me about that. So yeah, that was dumb. I think
Brian, I'm kind of appalled by how rude you are.
Don't listen.
I'm sorry. I mean, I can be mean. I can.
Be mean.
Alex, I don't agree with your opinion there.
There you go. Knock him down a peg.
Is Darkness better than Half-Life 2?
Is what? Half-Life 2? It's Half-Life 2 is okay. But is Curse of Darkness better than Half-Life 2?
Spencer, ignore that.
I don't know. If I were to play one now, I'd play this for sure.
No.
Again, no.
Do you think that they already made the best 3D Castlevania when they made Dark Souls?
I've never played Dark Souls, so I don't know. Sorry, I can't answer that.
Bloodborne, I think.
Never played that.
Either one. Yeah, Bloodborne too.
I think this game, I don't want to defend it too much, but I think if people just need to... I don't want to say, like, if you're scared off on this game by you heard all the 3D Castlevanias are bad, I think this is like I liked all the 3D Castlevanias I played. I'm saying it's not a bad game. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's worth a shot to see if you like it.
So you haven't played 64?
No, I played Legacy of Darkness and I enjoyed it. I was playing 64. I enjoy 64.
I apologize.
No, Legacy of Darkness was fine.
Teddy's a 64 apologist.
Yeah, I know. Teddy likes 60. I think me and him, he stopped by and we was playing it and we talked about it and he mentioned he likes it. I think it gets a bum rap as well as the other Castlevania 3D games. They're not great, but they're not bad. And 64 has a great atmosphere to it. I think it plays. It's a good mood to that game if you could get past the jumping and the bad camera angles, which is a lot for people to ask to play. But if you can get through that and put some time into it, I think it's a very enjoyable experience. Same with this one. I could say the same thing for this. But if you don't like what it's putting down, I understand, Teddy. It's not definitely can be overwhelming with the map and.
Yeah, no, but to your credit,
the soundtrack,
I mean, the combat is actually decent
great.
too.
Yeah,
like, I remember it having decent gameplay systems. I just agree that
it does.
Maybe it's too dark and like the camera angle is still kind of, it's like over the top and looking down. It's not conducive to exploration, which is a major facet of the game. Yeah,
there's not. I mean, you can control the camera in this one, unlike Lament of Innocence. So they added that you could control the camera, but it's an early 3D camera. Well, 2005, I guess you could say it's still early, but it's. If you don't, just listen to the soundtrack on this game if you don't like the game, because the soundtrack is top notch.
Seems like a trend from that era from Konami. If it wasn't Metal Gear Solid or Silent Hill, they were like, I felt like they were putting like a half effort and like.
Oh, I don't think they half-assed it. I think they put a lot of their whole ass into it.
I'm saying, me personally, I do. Because I also played like the Contra games on PS2.
Shattered Soldier and
Neo Contra.
Yeah, Neo Contra. Neo Contra is crazy.
They aren't terrible games, but they were like they're like almost there. It felt like they were like good enough, and then they just like walked away.
Yeah, that's what I meant by best with that they could with the hardware. I guess I was saying coming from 2D, people were still exploring. Even 2005, they were still getting 3D games down, I think, and it just feels like these were them still trying. They're getting there, but it's not quite there, like you said, Alex. But I still think I like it. That's what I'm going to say. At least.
You're allowed to like it. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean you can't like it.
I'm sorry. I'm streaming on the internet, and everybody tells me my opinions are wrong, and it gets to me. And sorry about that.
Stop listening to people on the internet.
I don't. That's the best advice anybody could ever say in the history of the 20th century, 21st century so far.
We disagree all the time.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I couldn't tell. I thought you guys were friends.
You disagree. You disagree in very nice, gentlemanly discussion ways. Where the internet disagrees with, no, your opinion is factually wrong and you're stupid for liking this, or I'm going to try to prove you. Even if you try to prove somebody, say you can't like this thing, you're not going to change their mind. People like what they like.
Now, Castlevania 64 makes my thumbs feel like they're disabled. So I don't like that game.
My advice: don't suck.
Yeah, get good, brah.
My tip: don't play a shitty game,
or put more than a few hours into it, and which is a hard ask for games.
Put it in the garbage.
Sometimes games you have to really like. I play a lot of NES stuff, and sometimes NES games you gotta put in a time for an NES game, and once you get the time into it, sometimes it's almost like Stockholm syndrome that you start to like that. And it kind of clicks with you a little bit. And I don't know if it still makes it a bad game. Maybe it's a bad game you can find enjoyment in, which I still think there's something to that. If you can find good in the bad, there's a lot of NES and older stuff that you kind of have to look back, and you can find good in a lot of stuff. Even that worst games have something you can find some enjoyment, whether it be crappy music or that's funny, or it can be like this one enemy that you like to kill, or this level. The one level, maybe this crappy game has one level that sticks with you. Like this game has the mountain region has some great music. When you finally get outside the castle, it's kind of cool and opens up. And I think they were almost there, like Alex said it, with getting it. But it's okay. It's an okay game. I mean, there's worse games out there.
We've single-handedly changed your perspective from almost perfect to it's okay.
Did I say almost perfect?
No, but I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, I mean, it sounded like you really liked it in the beginning, and me and Alex jaded.
I do really like it, but I'm sometimes when I talk about stuff, I have to reel myself in. I don't want to overhype or over talk about something too much, because you can kind of push people off of playing something if you say you got to play this, you have to play this. I just want people to maybe give it a shot. That's all I'm saying.
Brian was like, I really like this game. And me and Teddy were like, no, you don't.
Here's why you're
Alex did change. I will listen to, I like to hear other people's opinions on games. Like Alex, he said, no, that's garbage, because Metroid Prime had a better atmosphere. They could have did something along even somewhat like that, and it would have been better. And I agree with that.
Stay tuned for Terry's essay.
Yeah, Terry's gonna be upset with me and Teddy hardcore.
Totally.
He's already typing right now.
Yeah, Terry stops into my stream, and he really loves Castlevania 64 or Castle 64.
Just stop.
Castlevania Curse of Darkness.
Yeah.
Terry confirmed. Castlevania 64 fan.
But yeah, I know his love for that game, and well, I won't defend its problems. I think it's a fine game made by professionals.
No problems. It's perfect.
With some problems.
No.
Terry also likes Devil May Cry, so we'll just dust that under the rug. Get it out of here.
I've never played a Devil May Cry. Should I play Devil May Cry or Pokemon?
Oh my god. What a conundrum. RPG for babies or a game that's going to make me cry?
Well, maybe RPG for babies would make me cry. I'm a very sensitive person.
Yeah, not just about you, but just that it might make you cry.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
but sorry, I might have went. Somebody else can do it.
When your Squirtle evolves,
Squirtle. My Squirtle. No, my favorite Pokemon. I do know Snorlax, and I think I want Snorlax. Yeah, but I heard he's a gatekeeper. I think he blocks a region or something. But I'm not sure. But Snorlax is my favorite Pokemon, even though I don't know any Pokemon.
Damn it, Snorlax!
He just seems like a chill guy. Yeah, I don't think he'd be the gatekeeping in the sense of stopping you from doing something you want to enjoy. But I think does he block a region to an area in Pokemon? That's all I know about him. It's like laying there or something. I don't know.
He actually gatekeeps the
Pokemon
community.
Yeah.
Oh, so Snorlax
really like Pokemon.
That's terrible. Never mind.
Gen 1 or bust, okay?
Play red or nothing.
That's me. I bring Spencer. I'm like, Spencer, I like Gen 3. He's like, no, you don't.
Eat shit.
Yeah. That's cool. You guys can joke around with that. In my life, I would love to have 3 friends or 2 other friends like you guys in my life. I have no friends anymore. It's all. So I can't joke around with people like that. And I really am envious with you guys how you can do that. That's what makes what makes the button mappers so great. Is you guys play off of each other so well. Very, very fun to watch. I can generally tell you guys like games and like each other's company to a point.
Well, Brian, here you go. We'll be your 3 friends.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Eat shit.
No, I feel like a real friend. I feel wanted now. I feel invited now.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.